Hello there. I want to talk a little bit about the Civil War on Skyrim. At first, I thought they was more equally matched, but as soon as I started thinking, I realized there's more to the Civil War than I thought. So let's start with where we start in the game, in Helgen. As you can see over here is when we see General Tullius talking to Elwyn. Over there we see where we talk about the Imperial Walls, when we see the child watching the soldiers, and over there is the block. That means that one is the entrance. And I realized, alright, so we start from here. I had my suspicions that we started in a border. At first, I thought I started in a border close to Riften, but when I stopped here, I restarted the game and I realized over here a woman comes walking with a basket, meaning we go north. And the guy says, I was trying to cross the border with the bandit and we got captured in an ambush. But when we see north, we only have Fort Newgrad and over there is the Pale Pass, meaning there's nothing here. The only border is with Cyrodiil. That's when I realized it was Ulfric doing the ambush, not the Imperials. When they say Imperial ambush, it's a misconception. When you talk with the guards in Solitude, they say that Tullius almost won the war single handedly because of an ambush. But what if the one doing the ambushing was Ulfric, not Tullius, and he simply failed? Now, why would he fail? And I started looking at their equipment. Let's start with the weapons. Let's grab the Iron Sword, the Imperials, the Stormcloaks, main weapon. Most of their soldiers have two-handed, but with this one they can use a shield. Now when you see the daggers, got one 5, the other one 6. This one usually the Imperial has it. The Iron Sword is for the Stormcloak. The Imperial Sword is for the Imperial. As you can see, it is stronger. If you put an NPC one against the other, it will probably win just because 1 point. If he strikes you 10 times, he will have one more strike in damage than the Iron Sword just because of that point. But where the difference is with the longbows. You can see the Imperial use steel arrows, the Stormcloak use iron. The difference is 2 points, but the longbow and the Imperial bow have 3 points of difference. So if these Imperial comes with more bows, they can finish the battle more easily just because they do more damage. Now going to the armor part, I decided to look for the armor of each one. As you can see, my character is in an almost full I believe it's hide armor. Yeah, hide. I only have the fur helmet just because I found it, but it will help me because it is the same stat. Now, when we go to the armor of the Stormcloaks, fur gauntlets is the same as the hide gauntlets. Boots are the same when you see the armor rating, nothing is changing. Now, when you go fur helmet, I decided to use the white round guard because I find this one. And when you go to the Stormcloak Cuirass, it is 1 point stronger than the hide armor. Now, what I find funny is that the armor of the bandit is stronger than the Stormcloak armor by 2 points. And so I said, let's see other guards armor because I thought they were the same. I watched the Wyvern guard armor and it is stronger by 2 points as well. Now my character is full Wyvern guard armor. When we see the bandit's fur armor, my character is stronger than the Stormcloak armor, but it is the same as a guard. Okay, so this armor and any whole guard armor is stronger than the Stormcloak. What about Imperial armor? let's return to the Stormcloak settings and let's look at Imperial Light Razors are stronger by 1 point. The boots are stronger by 1 point. The helmet, it is the exact same. The Imperial Light and Medium are exactly the same as well, but they're 2 points stronger than the Stormcloak. Meaning, Whiterun Guard armor, it is the same as the Imperial Light armor and the fur armor of the bandits. So if you start the game and you side with the Imperials, they give you one free set that you can equip and a lot of weaker ones with the Stormcloaks. If you go the other way, you can end up with Imperial Medium and Imperial Heavy. And even the Torturer's Hood, it is 2 points stronger than any other helmet. Now, one thing that I decided to test is the Elven armor. This is the light Elven Gauntlets, 2 points stronger than the Stormcloaks. The boots, 2 points as well. The helmet is 1 point stronger. And at the end, the armor is 6 points stronger. Meaning, comparing all these stats, the Elven armor is 8 points stronger than the Stormcloak armor. To me, that said that the Stormcloak, even though Ulfric wants to attack the elves, he will most likely lose the war. When you see the normal leather armor, it is exactly the same stats as the Elven Light, meaning bandits and mercenaries have best chance to fight the elves than the Stormcloaks. And so with that, I decided to look at the endgame, the endings of each one. At first, we got the ending if the Imperial wins. All the Stormcloak bases turn, in my mind, into bandit camps. They're just there, they respawn, but you can go try wiping them out. You cannot because some of them are essential, but they don't do anything much. Without their leader, they're just bandits. Now, when you go with the Stormcloaks, the same thing happens, but in Solitude, all the Jarls and Stuart go there and they tell you, we are going to get the Skyrim back. We got an army hidden, they got the camps, and they're waiting for the Empire to come in so they can attack from the north. When you go to Fort Newgrad, after the Stormcloak have won, they got a Imperial Stormcloak missive that said that there's a legion in the Pale Pass, and if they enter, they're gonna roll over and take everything back. And to me, that says all the future of the game. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, the Stormcloaks are weaker. And in the lore, they say that why the fight is so few in numbers, so much lesser in stakes, so much intrigue and corruption, more than anything else. That's because you're not fighting the Empire, you're fighting a vacuum in power. Everybody left. You're fighting what's left of the remnants. And you can see it in the starting game. Over here, usually when you fight Alduin, there's some mages throwing fireballs and stuff at Alduin. You don't see that anywhere else. After Helgen falls, which I say it is the main guard of Tullius, all the other fights are with bow and arrow or sword and shield. But the thing that I personally see the most damning to the Stormcloak war is Whiterun. What does the soldier say in Whiterun? I forgot the name of the guy. Charbaldroth. He said that he prefers that the Imperial soldier lose their lives there than his own. That made me realize that they have double the army just because you're not attacking just Whiterun, you're attacking Whiterun and the Imperials. And when you see the Stormcloaks, they can end up dying 2 to 1 to take the city. So yeah, if you are Ulfric and you take Whiterun, you're not out of the danger zone because you lost twice as much as many soldiers. If you play games like Total War or watch history, you know that sieges, if you don't wait them out and starve the cities, you can end up losing many soldiers more than you realize you had. And he puts everything in danger. That made me realize that when on the side of the Empire, he attacks and he loses everything. That's why you can take down Star with just one bribe. You can take Winterhold with just a sneak attack. You can take Riften with just another bribe. And Windhelm, you just storm Windhelm just walking over. You don't do any other attacks. And I know it's supposed to be because they simplified the game, but for me, it is a pretty realistic design if you take the game as realistic as possible. Because you're not gonna fight an all-out war, siege, and slaughtering Downstar. They're a port city without walls. What they're gonna do? You're gonna take Winterhold. Canonically, they have like 5 people in their population. You, most of their citizens are guards. You go to Riften. In Riften, most of their citizens are bribable. You can walk to Hold Guard. They're gonna open the gate if you got enough coin. The same thing in Market. If you got enough coin, they're gonna open the city to you. Mortal, they don't even have a merchant. They're just open to the public. Valkyrie, they got a forest, but what they're gonna do? Canonically, Solitude, Whiterun, and Windhelm are the best equipped to fight a siege. And as I said, whoever attacks first and commit a lot of soldiers is the one that's gonna lose. And to me, that's what happened when you fight using the Imperials. Now, after all this, what can I say? The one thing that is different is seasonal ending. Now, why do I say seasonal ending is the only different path? It all depends if Partonax is alive or dead. If you do not do the Blade campaign and Partonax is alive, he says to you that he's gonna take all his brethren and he's gonna leave. In the lore, he leaves if you don't kill him. You're not supposed to see him again. You obviously see him again in the game because he has to teach you the powers of the voice. He has to teach you how to concentrate in the voice. And you need him to finish the Blade's questline. But you not only lose the support of the Greybeards, it is simply a useless group, the Blades. You don't do much as a Blade. Now, if you go in favor of him living with the dragons, you stay safe with the Greybeards and everything, the season ending where you plead for the ceasefire, it is useless. Because the ceasefire was made to fight Alduin. Once Alduin is dead, all you have are the dragons. But if Partonax is alive, all the dragons are supposed to live with him. And to me, that's pretty much an end to the season ending. So we started fighting again. And as I said, once the Empire gets attacked in Whiterun, you don't have to win in Whiterun. You just have to be the grinder. He's gonna keep pushing men into that city, and you just have to cut them down. And to me, that's what happens if you side with the Empire. I want to know what you guys think. So leave a comment if you want. See you around.